to me, one of the greatest teachings of the whole Christian message and Christ's life himself centers around this very, very, very simple idea. Very simple idea. And it's the idea called I am. If you get I am, you get the whole message. If you don't get I am, you miss the entire message. So to the human consciousness, I am always refers to a historical figure, right? Something in time and space, something you can point to. Most human beings in their human state of consciousness, even when they think of I am about themselves, they think about the body, the mind, what they think, what they feel, what they imagine, what they believe. Human consciousness always takes the I am and makes it into something concrete. Mm-hmm. And of course, this is what's really meant by the I am becoming historical. It becomes about something you can grasp and think about and talk about. And to me, when I started my sort of love affair in a certain sense with Christ, it was sort of this historical way too. It was very much tied to a particular person at a particular place in time, because that fit my consciousness as a very young child. It was reflective of where my consciousness was. And we are all only capable of seeing things from our state of consciousness. Very important to remember that. You're only capable of seeing things based on and from your current state of consciousness. That's why we tend to interpret everything down to our level. We interpret everything down to our own consciousness because really we don't have any choice until our consciousness changes, and then everything looks different. And yet the whole Christian message, in a sense, is this message that's based around I am. Understanding, not just understanding in the mind, that's of very little value. Understanding in the sense of a direct realization, literally an awakening out of human consciousness to spiritual consciousness, one could say. Mm-hmm. And Jesus himself mentions this many, 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 many times. One of the great, wonderful sayings from the Gospel of Thomas has Jesus saying this: one who knows everything else, but who does not know himself, knows nothing. That's a pretty good summation of modern times. We know so much, at least we think we know so much. The modern human mind now has many more facts stuffed in it than it did 2,000 years ago. I mean, it had a lot then. You realize nothing much changes, just the scenery. But there is so much knowledge, and of course, even many in the world of spirituality have this thought: if I just could understand more, if I can cram more spiritual knowledge into my brain, then that will help me find God or awaken to my true nature, awaken to the One. And here it is, 2,000 years ago. Jesus saying, one who knows everything but who does not know himself knows nothing. It's quite a statement. Mm-hmm. It's another thing that happens when we do not see this gift, this teaching of Christ in its true light. Christ has been made, by and large, to fit what's comfortable for human beings, which makes Christ into sort of a nice, comfy, God-illuminated guy, right? Being. But if you really look at the message of Christ, you realize that this is not true at all. This was a full-blooded sage, an absolute spiritual and cultural revolutionary of the highest order. It does not fit in well with, and it never did fit in well, as his life proved, never did fit in well and never does fit in well with the conventional ideas of the limited human consciousness. We keep dumbing down Christ to our level, right? To a human level. When we miss that this was somebody that was out to awaken humanity. Make no mistake about it. This was a being who was out to awaken humanity, and it got him killed. And so when we see the power that's actually inherent there in the teaching, in who he was, this was someone of great, great spiritual vitality. Great vitality. This is someone who, as true spiritual awakening often is, didn't fit in. As I say, it ended up getting him crucified. Because it didn't fit into the conventional human understanding of who we are and what God is. This is someone who is actually pushing outside of that boundary. Pushing outside of the conventional boundaries. Someone who had actually woke up from the conventional boundaries. Who had realized the truth of their being and was speaking about it.